Hello, today we are gonna do some really simple arms, again just to get everything activated a little bit and moving. So if you would like some weights, you don't really need much more than 1 kg. It's yeah, the exercise we're doing isn't really about brute force. It's just to get a little bit of activation in those arms. What else do we need? If you've got a sofa or a chair, bring it along. Otherwise, come and lie down on your back with your weights if you would like. I'd also like to point out, if you've got any shoulder problems and injuries, lose the weight and minimize your range. Even if you don't, work to your own range. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I am just here to follow and blab. So, grab your cans, or your drink bottles, or your weights. I found these in a cupboard. I have no idea where I got them. And you have your arms up to the ceiling. Get really grounded through your feet, through your pelvis and ribs and head. And you're just simply shrugging up and down. Feel like you're just starting to oil off some joints. Getting all the creaks and cracks out. And everything moving around your back. Really reach those arms up to the ceiling and then send those bones back down through the floor. Try not to send them up towards your shoulders, just through the floor. Okay, finish there. Bring the arms all the way down, just hovering next to your hips. So you're going to inhale up, and then you're going to exhale. Take the arms back, only as far as not only you can go, but as far as you can keep your ribs heavy into the mat. Once that starts to happen, you've gone too far. So exhale, taking the arms back, and inhale, bring them back up. Exhale, take the arms back down, hovering next to your hips, and inhale back up. Exhale, heavy rib cage, keep the pelvis heavy as well. Inhale up, and exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. And exhale down. And inhale up. One more time. Alright, coming next to your hips, keep them hovering, but rotate your palms to face the ceiling, and you're going to go into butterfly arms. Inhale as the arms open up to a high V, and then exhale, bring the arms back. Little finger leads the way back down towards your hips. Now, same thing. Your range might be up here. And that is fine. Keep going. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Keep the ribs moving with your breath, but that doesn't mean lifting the rib cage off the mat. Let's do 2 more. Really feel what's happening in the back. It's the shoulder blades are rounding out and rounding back in and up. Alright, go into full circles. Inhale up, exhale back. Round the palms to face the ceiling as you come all the way back down through butterfly arms. Inhale up and exhale back and around. 2 more in this direction. Inhale up, exhale back and around. And 4 in the opposite direction. Inhale and exhale down. One more. Very nice. Okay, you're going to scoot around to your tummy. You're going to do some scarecrows. So, starting off though with a little bit of just a press. So you're elbows are opposite your shoulders, as you can see. Arms are at a right angle. And you're really simply, firstly, make sure the legs are squeezing together, pubic bone pressing down, and your tummy lifted into your spine, your tummy button. Not having to hold too much around that waist, remember. Keep it just as simple as that little activation through the middle, and that will make the right amount of muscles work properly. Okay, now you're going to press your forearms down into the floor and just lift your shoulders up. Make sure the collarbones long across the front of your chest, shooting out through the sides of your shoulders. Nice big inhale at the top and then exhale, rolling down. And again, press the lower arm down. Lift up. And rolling down. Okay. Now we're just going to do a little bit of this. So you're going to lift your hands as high as they can go, and then lift your elbows. Lower the elbows, and lower the hands. Just do a couple more of these. Keep the back of the neck long, looking directly down into your mat. Okay, now we're going to start off with that back extension. Once you're up, keep the legs squeezing together, tummy lifted, pubic bone down. Lift your hands and lift your elbows. Stay here. You're going to reach out into a high V and bring the arms back into a bend. Reaching out, keep the tummy lifted, pubic bone down, legs squeezing together. Long back of neck. Reach and in. Reach and in. Keep going. I think this is 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Very good. Lower the elbows, lower the hands, and lower the back. Hopefully you felt a little bit of activation around the backs of your shoulders there. You are going to grab one of your weights. This is one of those ones, if you'd like to go heavier, that is great. Go heavier. You're going to come all the way down, and just doesn't really matter where your legs are for this one. Your feet can be in line with your pelvis, or they can be forward in front of you. Relax your head down, keep your underneath waist lifted, and have your arm like so. Now watch that nothing is coming up towards your ears. And with this one, you don't want to lower any further than here, like that. Keep it lifted. And this is all about the rotator cuff. So the movement is only coming from your shoulder. You are not lifting with that elbow to open. You're just rotating in that socket. Feel like you're revealing the inside of your upper arm and then closing it down. Opening and closing. I'm going to say this is 6. I think I might have done differently. 7. Around about there. 8. 9. 3 more. 10. 11. 12. Good. If you can keep going, keep going. Otherwise, have a little break and come around to the other side. Okay. Now keep that waist lifted. At the same time, make sure your ribs aren't flaring out in front of you. Keep them in line with your pelvis and your head. All right. Arm placed there. Keep that length in your collarbone and space for your neck. And off you go. 1, 2, just the shoulder rotator cuff, rounding around. 4, 5, reveal the inside of that upper arm, close it up. 6, 7, 8, lost my right waist, left waist a little bit. 9, 10, 11, 12. And yes, if you can keep going, keep going. All right. onto your other side again. Or side plank. So again, this is for shoulder stability. So stack your feet one on top of the other, feet, pelvis, ribs, all in line. You're going to tuck your bottom elbow just under your shoulder a little bit more than you think, and have your lower arm out on a diagonal with your fingers pointing towards the corner of your mat. If you like, this arm can stay down here, otherwise have it to the side. Now, before you do anything, push the floor away and make sure you're not sinking and losing that shoulder. Keep everything lifted and strong. You are going to start to push even more into the floor with the bottom arm and feel like your spine's lengthening long through the top of your head into the wall next to you. If you like, you can have this arm up to the ceiling. Make sure your calves are lifted off the floor. You're not resting down. Keep onto the sides of those feet and hold for, I know we've held already, but 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And gently lower down. Again, if your hand's here, that's great. We're going to do it again. You're going to add a leg lift. Now, a couple more things. Once you're up there, make sure your hips are still stacked and your shoulders are still stacked, so you're not rocking and rolling through any of the hold. And make sure your neck isn't taking on any of the tensions. So if you feel you want to just look up or down or around for a little bit, do so. All right. Are you ready? Push the mat away, lengthen up and lift that top leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close and lower. Right. Last side. Thank God you've only got 2. Okay. Look down, make sure everything's in line. Hand here or here. And off you go. First time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep that press into the floor. 2, 1. Hold for 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Just to even up. Okay. Last time with the leg lift again, if you've got your hand here, or if you want to miss out the leg lift, miss out the leg lift. That is fine. Off you go. Pushing away, lengthen that leg. Keep the hips stacked and the shoulders stacked. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close and lower down. Good. Last little shoulder stability. Shoulder stability. They come hand in hand. All right. Plank on your hands. So you are going to keep a neutral spine, hands directly under your shoulders, and step back one at a time. Keep pushing that floor away so your upper spine's right up level with your shoulder blades. Tummy into your spine. You are not overacting your glutes. And hold for at least 30 seconds. Now watch your elbows. You don't want to be locked into the joint because then it's just your bones doing the work, not in a nice way. Keep the insides of your elbows facing each other. At the same time, feel like you've got a little dome of air under your palms. So activate your hands. Feel like you're almost squeezing material off the floor with your underside of your fingers. And it's going to activate your hands and your arm muscles a little bit more, which helps you lift out of your wrists. I know a lot of the time people's wrists hurt whenever there's weight bearing involved. So keep those hands activated. Keep that air dome underneath. Keep breathing. Keep pushing the floor away. And keep the tummy lifted. Back of the neck nice and long. And have a rest. Well done. Little stretch out. Alright. Now I don't know if I said that was the last one. I was lying, it's not the last one. We have some tricep dips to do. So this is where you will need your sofa or chair. I have this little stool. Now, I might disappear in this exercise for a bit, but have your stool. If you have done a equipment class with me, this is frogs facing out on the Wonder Chair, so you'll recognize it. You're going to have your hands, your fingers over the front of the chair, heels together, toes apart. So if you can just have a little look in this position here. Avoiding one of those awkward angles my boss told me to avoid, so well done me. Have your feet a little bit further away from underneath your knees, so you don't want them too tucked under. Long neutral spine. You're going to push down into your hands and lift your sit bones off and bring your rib cage and pelvis off the chair as one. And keep that collarbone nice and long, the neck nice and long. Dipping down and up. Rib cage still in, tummy into spine, and breathing. 3, 4, I think. 5, feel like you're drilling holes into the floor with your sit bones. 6, 7, and this is almost like you're pumping air into each vertebrae every time you press up. 9, keep the breathing going. 10, try to do at least 5. 11, 12, 13, 14, 2 more, 15, 16. And sit back and have a rest. Well done. Okay, pop your stool away. This is the final exercise. Now, this one is done standing. I'm not going to stand because you won't see me. And my camera does something funny if I flip it. And I don't know how to fix that because I'm not very phone savvy. So, I'm going to do it kneeling down. When you are standing, make sure your feet are sit bone width apart. Don't have your legs too wide. Keep them right under your sit bones. Okay. And you're going to have your weights in your hand and round off as if you're holding onto a giant beach ball. You're going to inhale and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, last one, 8. Now I should say before we go on, if you find that you're starting to feel it up in the trapezius muscles, get rid of the weights or do less reps or both. You don't want it to be feeling up there, you want it to be feeling in your arms and around your lats. Now you're going to keep that roundness in the arms and open and close. 2, 3. Now it says if you're opening your arms onto 2 ledges, so your elbows, it'll be impossible for them to drop. Keep them lifted in line with your shoulders and hands. 4, 5, 6. Really stand into your feet. Make sure your pelvis and ribcage is stacked right on top of your feet. 8, I think. And closing above your head. 1, 2. Now keep your weights in your peripheral vision. 3, so they're not too far behind you. 4, 5, 6. Next nice and soft. 7. Last one. 8. Now bring them all the way down to where they started and lifting them back up. Now watch that it is just coming from your arms and your shoulders, not your ribs. So the last thing you want is for your rib cage to be popping out. Keep your rib cage stacked right on top of your pelvis. It doesn't shift, it just breathes. 5, I think. Feel like your shoulder blades are almost rounding down and back. So it's all coming in this movement. Let's do 2 more because once again I've lost count. Alright, finishing off with 4 circles in each direction. So hitting all those positions you've already been in. 2, 3, Keep that neck nice and soft and long. 4. Last time, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ribcage nice and stable. Well done. Good. And that is your little arm activation for the week. Remember guys, little and often is great. I do little and often. I never really sit down for a full class because, you know, I think a lot of us don't really have the time or much of the space. I've had to move a lot of furniture for this. So pop down now and then throughout the day for the odd exercise. If you feel your back going, do some abs or hamstrings. If you need a stretch, just have a little stretch. It doesn't have to be for long, about 5 minutes. But it's really worth it. It makes a difference, and it does keep you moving, even if it's just for that tiny bit of the day. Okay, bye.